Hey Greenwood, it's Robert with Greenwood Calendar, and we're ready to do another episode of Talking Greenwood with Mayor B. We're in the mayor's office in the Greenwood building. Hey Mayor,
How we doing?
good. How you doing?
Doing all right. Welcome.
It's been a little while.
It's been a minute, yeah. Back with another episode of Talking Greenwood with Mayor B. And I wanted to talk today about this new Mayor's Youth Council that you may have seen or read about in the index or on the news. And this is something that I did not invent or come up with. It's an idea that was brought to me by Grace Stallworth a few years ago, and I thought now was the time to actually make it happen. I probably sat on it too long. So he gave me this idea and showed me some links to some other communities that have this Mayor's Youth Council. So I looked at probably 24 other towns. I think there's Starkville, Mississippi, Nashville, Tennessee, wherever Notre Dame is, in South Bend, Indiana, and kind of trying not to reinvent the wheel. Took some of the ideas. We're not above taking good ideas from other communities that are doing things well, but I think it's got a unique and special purpose for Greenwood. And so it is open. Applications now are open for any 10th, 11th, and 12th graders that live in Greenwood School District 50. Go to Greenwood High, Emerald, Cambridge, Greenwood Christian, Palmetto Christian Academy, homeschooled, whatever. As long as you live in Greenwood School District 50 and have more than likely have a Greenwood or Troy or Hodges address, because we want to talk about Greenwood specific issues here. And I know 96, they got a strong young school system, and as does Ware Shoals. But something fell off my desk. What we're trying to focus on here is Greenwood centric issues. So what I envision this be, the three main purposes of this is to give young people an opportunity to explain to us the unique issues and pressures that they face. I'm 43 years old. As much as I would love to think that I can identify with that generation, I've got two teenagers myself, and I know that I am in a different generation. There's no doubt about it. I don't know TikTok, and I don't know all this other stuff. So, I know issues specific to my family, but there's a lot of parts of town where there are unique issues, and I want to understand those struggles, those pressures to be part of a gang or whatever. We want to understand those issues and understand those ideas of how we can help and do better as this from the city of Greenwood standpoint or any local governmental standpoint. Number two, we also want our youth to be able to tell us what they would like to see that would be able to where we would be able to retain them in Greenwood after their formal education is over, whether that means after high school or technical college or whatever. Whether that's pie in the sky, a perfect world would love to see, and also realistic things that we could do to keep you here, because we believe Greenwood's a very special and unique community. And number three, I envision it as being kind of like a youth leadership Greenwood, where you learn about nonprofits and certainly civics and local government, healthcare and education and industry, and how Greenwood ties into the global market. So I'm going to be calling on a lot of our local leaders to help us with this. And so I mentioned the criteria is 10th, 11th, 12th graders that live in District 50. And what I would like to see is 2 representatives from each city ward. So hopefully we've got 12 12 city residents, youth that live in the city, one from each ward, and then 6 at large. So they could live in the city or they could live in the county. I grew up, I told y'all this a billion times, but when I wanted to be, I wrote a paper in the 5th grade about wanting to be mayor of Greenwood, and it worked out for me. But when I was in the 5th grade and wrote that paper, I didn't live in the city of Greenwood. So there are many folks that are very productive and beneficial youth adults for both our city center and our county that may not live in city of Greenwood, but we want to, they may work, they may go to school. Emerald's in the city, Greenwood High's just outside the city limits. So, we've got a lot of kids that live in the county and go to Emerald, which is in the city. A lot of kids that live in the city and go to Greenwood High, which is not in the city. So we want all perspectives on how Greater Greenwood can do better. So I'm excited about it. The application process is open through the end of this month, August 31st. If you don't have an application, please send me or Ryan Thomas, ryan.thomas@gwdcity.com or brandon.smith@gwdcity.com. Please email us, give us a shout. We'll get you an application, and we'd love to tell you more and learn more about unique issues. I covered it all.
I think that's got it. About do you know yet how often the group will meet?
So the plan's to meet once a month, likely in the evenings from 5:30 or so to 7:30, and the plan is to get a lot of leaders, because while I'm mayor, there are so many folks that may not have an elected title that are amazing leaders in our community, whether that's directors of nonprofits, preachers, organized civic Boy Scout leaders, leaders of Models Academy, retired folks that have a lot of information to pass along. So I envision those couple hours being very interactive, hands-on, bringing a lot of folks in to help aid in this discussion and leadership initiative.
Thanks so much, Mayor. This is Robert.